Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is now the 14th of June and I haven't actually posted a video this month. Sorry guys. I have just found myself in a little bit of a creative funk over the past couple of weeks. I've just had a bit of a creative block. I have sat down to try and film. It's not gone that well. I haven't been super inspired, so that's why you guys haven't had any videos from me. But I just wanted to push through and get something out there for you guys, and I wanted to do something fun, something colourful, and this is what we got, and I kind of like it. I feel like I never work with purple. I don't know why, I love it. Yeah. I've used a few different palettes today. We're doing a full face. I just wanted to sit down and have fun with makeup, and that's basically it. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright guys, today is going to be one of those days where we are going to be starting from scratch. I did my skincare this morning, but right now I haven't done anything. I just splashed a little bit of water on because it's quite warm and it felt nice. So I'm just going to start by cleansing really quickly, because you always want to start with a nice clean base when you do your makeup. I know this one isn't technically a cleanser, but I want to finish it up and I'm nearly there, and I don't actually use it in my skincare routine anymore. This is the Simply Pure Refreshing Toner. This is from Superdrug. This is their sensitive skin range. I mean, it feels nice on the skin. It does certainly feel refreshing. Did I feel like it really did anything in my skincare routine? Not really, but I do like their Simply Pure range. I think it's really nice if you need very affordable makeup that is fragrance free, suitable for sensitive skin. I just don't think toners are necessary in a skincare routine unless they have an active, and this one doesn't. But to clean my face really quickly, yeah, it works. I'm gonna pop on some eye cream. I'm gonna go into a brand new tube of Clinique Moisturizer 96 Hour Hydro Filler Concentrate. There we go, pumps out really quickly. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna pop that on my under eye area. And this again is just really nice and refreshing. I feel like it helps keep the area really plump. The last thing we want under makeup is a really dry, crusty under eye. No one needs that. And then for my moisturizer, I'm gonna use the Clinique Moisture Surge 72 Hour Auto Replenishing Hydrator. I'm just gonna go in with my fingers because I'm lazy. I do normally use a spatula with products that come in jars. This one's almost finished, so I'm not too fussed. Just be hygienic with your skincare. Use spatulas in your jars and wash your hands before doing your makeup and skincare. It's just a good practice. I should have put those in the fridge because they would feel really nice right now. Just gonna pop on some lip balm as well because my lips have been really dry and really flaky at the moment. This one is just a Nivea one that you can get pretty much anywhere. I'm not sure I really like it that much. I just want something on my lips. I've never really found the lip balm of my dreams, so I would love to hear your suggestions. If you have any, leave them in the comments for me because I need a holy grail lip balm. So you just want to make sure that your skincare has absorbed into your skin before you put your makeup on so it doesn't disturb it. My eyelid feels fine. My under eye maybe hasn't quite sunk in yet, but we're not going to do it straight away anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm now going to prime my eyes with my P. Louise base. As always, I use it in the shade 0.5, and I do use it to carve out my brow as well. I like a nice sharply defined brow. I'm just going to use a spoolie first of all. Just brush the brow hairs up. That's just going to ensure that the brow hairs don't get in the way as you're trying to prime your eyelid. It's just going to make your life a little bit easier. And for the P. Louise base, I like to use the Pro Arte Masterstroke Series 61 in the size 10. This is actually an art brush, but art brushes can sometimes be great for makeup because they can be so cheap. I wouldn't do it for things like blending brushes, but liner brushes, angled brushes, or these type of concealer style brushes, it just saves you a fortune. So it's really good. So I am going to start by carving out the brow. And I do have the reflex of lifting up my brow as I'm doing my makeup. This might look really straight right now, but when I drop my brow, all of a sudden there's a dip. So I then just try and go back with my eyebrow down and just make sure I'm getting a straight line at this stage. Then once I'm happy with it, I just kind of blend the excess product down. And then I take a second brush, more of a rounded, blended brush. I think this is a dupe for a Zoeva concealer brush. I'm just gonna take some more product and pack it on the lid. I just find this a lot easier than patting the product in using a flat brush. I'm just bringing it down into the corners at the front and the back of the eye. I'm not going to prime the lower lash line straight away because I want to have a fresh base by the time I get there. And then I'm just blending the edges out. And then I like to blend upwards at the front of the brow as well. So I'm going to be using a few different palettes today. I don't normally like to for YouTube videos because I just feel like it's easier to do a video around one palette. I couldn't find one palette that had all the shades I needed today. So I'm going to be using, I think 3 in total. I don't think I should need any more than that. The first one I'm going to use is my Morphe 39S. In this palette, the first shade I'm going to go into is this purple down here. I'm taking it on a Zoeva 231. And I believe that one is called Make It Rain. Just going to make sure there is no creasing in the base. And then I'm going to start packing that colour into my crease area, but kind of just above as well. I am lifting my eyebrows here a bit and then dropping them and just trying to work with my eye open just to see where I need to place the colour. Because of the shape of my eye, I end up having to take my cut crease really high up. So if I just pop the crease colour literally in my crease, it's just going to get covered up later on anyway. And I'm going to go for a more rounded shape today, so I'm just gonna take that in the outer corner of the eye as well. And I'm just gonna make sure that it's even everywhere, we haven't got any patchy colour, and I'm just kind of blending out a little bit as well. Might not look particularly rounded at the moment, but that will definitely improve as I add on the next few colours. So next up, I'm going to go into the most impractical palette to hold up for you guys. It's my Me, Myself and Mitchell. And I'm going to be carrying on with the purples here, so I'm on this side of the palette. I'm going to go into the shade Morgan with another Zoeva 231. And I'm going to use that to blend out the first shade. To be fair, these two are pretty similar, aren't they? It wasn't really the right shade in the Beauty Bay Mitchell palette to go with this look. There is another purpley colour, but it's more red toned. And again, I'm working around the outer corner to create that more rounded edge. And now that I'm done packing, I'm just going to go over and blend. Doesn't look like much right now, but that's the beauty of blending. I'm going to take another Zoeva 231 now, still on this side of the palette. I'm going to go into Miles High, and I'm going to finish blending the top edge out and really define the round shape. So I'm only lightly dipping my brush in, and I'm working in very small sections. So I don't really pack on the colour as I did with the first 2 shades. I just work a lot more slowly and make sure I'm really getting that nice soft blend. And then again going underneath and really focusing on rounding that shape off. Really perfect the shape. And if you do mess up the shape at any point, great thing about doing your base after your eyes, you can come and correct any mistakes so easily. At this point, I could be doing a glamorous look or some sort of zombie. You know, it could go either way at this stage, but we are going more glamorous now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is cut my crease. So I'm going to take some Garnier Micellar Water on a cotton bud, and I'm just going to use that to take away some of the excess product. It just means that you're not going to end up with as thick a layer of product on the eye, which I think is an issue that I used to really struggle with. My cut creases would look really thick, really chunky, and that's just not what you want. And then I like to use another Pro Arte Master Stroke Series 61 brush, but this is at size 8, so it's just the size below the one I used to carve out my brow, just so that it's a little bit more precise. I just start from the inner corner, follow the shape around, kind of wish I'd used a white now, but because I use the shade 0.5 anyway, it doesn't really make a difference for me. So I've just popped some base in the middle because this is the zone where I risk the most transfer because of the shape of my eye. Let me add a bit more actually, just pack it on. And I'm gonna look down and then I'm gonna look up and look around, and anywhere the base transfers on my brow bone, that's how high I need to take my cut crease. If I do my cut crease too low, what will happen is things will get messy. I'll get some like blurred edges where everything is touching and transferring. So by doing this, I'm going to avoid that. So I just like to do it a couple of times. And then connect everything up at the front of the eye as well. And then once I'm happy with the shape of the crease, I'm just going to fill it in. As I get to the edge, I'm just trying to pat that out without adding any more product. Don't want it to be too strong. I'm going to start out with the brush I used for the first shade from the Morphe 39S with no extra product. And I'm just patting that in, and then I'm going to take a bit more product and pack it in right in the outer corner, really deepen it up. And then I'm going to use the brush I used for Morgan and just blend out again. And then again with the brush that I used for Miles High. So for the cut crease, I want to use a shimmering white. I don't want to use something pinky or something purpley or a silver, which is what you've got in the palettes I've used before. I'm going to go into the Revolution Forever Flawless Ice palette, and I'm going to go with the shade Cool. I mean, it's a little bit off-white. I think it's going to need some spraying actually. Give it a quick spritz of setting spray. Yeah, it's not perfectly white, but it's better than others I have. And I think a little bit of setting spray definitely helps this one. I wish it was a bit more sparkly. I was really hoping it would be. If you guys have any suggestions for a nice sparkly white eyeshadow, that would be really helpful because I just haven't found a perfect one yet. And then to act as a transition, I'm going to go back into the Morphe palette. And I'm going to use this shade down here, which is called Peri Twinkle, just on a flat eyeshadow brush. I think it's going to work, but I think it's going to need spraying as well. So let me put the palette down. Pop some setting spray on it. I'm going to go kind of diagonally with this one. I'm just layering it on top of Cool. It's not very pigmented, this one. The setting spray does seem to help. And then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Make It Rain. I'm just alternating between the two to blend. You can't really see it. I do think it's a shame. In hindsight, I would probably do this one first and then Cool. I think I'm going to add a smoky liner to this look. I think that will work really well. So I use the Inglot AMC Gel Eyeliner. This is the black one. And I've had this for a couple of years now and it is drying up a little bit. So I do use the Revolution Pro mixing liquid to help fluidify it. I don't think they make this anymore because it's never available on their website, which is really annoying because it's a really good, handy product to have. Revolution, if you ever see this, can you please not discontinue this? Thank you. I'm going to take it on another Pro Arte Master Stroke brush. This is from the series 60 and it is in the size 00. And I'm just going to line my lash line. I'm going to keep it really nice and thin on the inner corner and then progressively get thicker. And I'm kind of just going to stop just a little bit before the end of my eye. I'm going to come and smudge it out in a second, but I'm going to do the other eye first because otherwise it's still too wet and it kind of stretches out too far. So I'm going to come back once I've done the liner on this eye. So now to smudge that out, I'm going to take a Sigma E36 just because it's really nice and flexible. So it's not going to blend anything too harshly. It's going to do everything super softly. And I'm going to bring that into the outer corner a little bit. Just blurring it out into the eyeshadow. The liner has transferred to my lower lash line just a little bit, right in there in the waterline. So I'm just gonna clean that up, make sure there's no fallout anywhere on the under eye. And then I'm gonna take that fluffy brush I used with my P. Louise base at the start with a tiny bit of extra product. Just gonna prime that lower lash line. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple here. I'm just gonna use the same colors that I use in the crease. So starting off with Make It Rain from the Morphe palette, just on a short flat eyeshadow brush. This one is from ELF. I can't link this one down below because I've had it for, God, maybe 8 years now, and I don't know for sure if they still make it or not. I think they might, but I don't know which one it is on their website exactly. Then I'm just gonna take my Zoeva 231 I used with Morgan. So I've dipped back into Morgan, and I'm just gonna blend. And then same thing with a bit of Miles High. Again, just using the Zoeva 231 I used for it earlier. I'm just blending it right into my under eye creases because why not? I do just want to darken the outer corner of the lower lash line a little bit, so I'm just going to jump into my L'Oreal Infallible Gel Crayon, just the black one. I'm going to pop that right in the lash line. And I'm going to take the Zoeva brush that I used for Morgan just to smoke it out. I've just popped on a quick coat of mascara, and now I'm going to do my inner corner. So I am taking just a small pencil brush. This is the Nancy Tapered Crease brush. I'm going to take just a little bit more of the P. Louise base and pop it right in the inner corner. If you ever have any issues with your inner corner popping, this is going to help so much. And then I'm going to take the Oh My Glitter Neon Yellow Pigment Pot, and you're really not going to need a lot. I just always tend to dip my brush in the top, tap off the excess, pack it on. I know I did this in my last video, but I do love a contrasting inner corner. And then I'm going to go back into some more of the P. Louise base, this time with a flat brush, and I am going to get that on my waterline. And this is why I've done my mascara first. Otherwise, I always end up getting mascara on top of the colour I put on my lash line, which nobody wants. And I'm gonna take a really small eyeshadow brush this time. Again, I'm just taking a little bit from the top, tap off the excess really carefully because you don't want to get this in your eye, and really press it into the base. I just love how much it pops right now. For my lashes, I'm going to go in with the Crystal Lashes from Daxi Beauty. I do have a discount code with them. It is listed down in the description box. I've switched to using the Duo Quick Set Strip Lash Adhesive. It's a lot easier to use than the ones in the tube, and it does just dry a lot quicker, so it will make your life easier. So you don't need to wait as long before popping them on, but when you're ready, like, how quick was that? I've just cleaned up any fallout that I had under my eyes so that we can move on to the face now. So I'm going to start off with the Revolution Glass Liquid Skin Illuminating Primer. Not because I want to be particularly glowy, but I haven't really used it since my review at all. It is just super runny. I do love the smell of it. It does smell like sweets. I mean, it does give a glow to the skin, it just doesn't really come through under the foundations that I use anyway, I feel. Maybe if you're using something really light, but anything full coverage, I just feel like you don't see it. For foundation, I'm going to use my Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I've got mine in the shade Breeze. Just going to pop it on. I know I used this one recently on my channel, but when I don't show you guys what I'm doing with my foundation, I always use the same thing, and I kind of fancy using something else. I find that this one applies better with a sponge. I found this Sunday Ivy blender that Feel Unique sent me last year that I just haven't used. It's one of those like more velvety microfiber ones. I had another one, a more traditionally shaped one. I didn't really like it, but I found this and I thought, why not try it again? So let's see how it blends out. This isn't bad. The one that I tried when they sent me these sponges, it was just really hard, and it felt like I was kind of punching myself in the face with it when I used it. But this one doesn't feel too hard. I mean, I'm not a fan of the shape. It didn't expand a lot or anything underwater. I mean, it feels dry. But I suppose that's the point. These don't absorb your product, so I guess it also makes sense that they don't really absorb water as well. I'm just gonna go in with more. Where I need it. I'm gonna bring it down into my neck because I do just have some spots on there that I want to cover up. I feel like the sponge is okay. It's better than I remember the other one being, but I'm just not a fan of the shape. I think Beauty Bay have made some velvety ones, haven't they? Maybe I should try them out because I think they're quite affordable. But it's weird how dry it feels on the face. So for my concealer, I'm gonna go in with the I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers Concealer. I normally use the shade Oat, but it didn't feel quite light enough to highlight depending on which foundation I use. So in the Superdrug 2-for-1 sale, I ordered the shade Buttermilk, which is the lightest one. I'm gonna work in sections. I'm gonna start with my forehead, and I always blend out my concealer with my PC18 from Peaches and Cream. I just really like the finish it has. I'm gonna use the excess on the upper lip as well because I used a bit too much there. I really like this concealer. I didn't think I would because the consistency is so thin, but actually I feel like that means it works quite well over all different foundations. So you can use it over a matte one, it's gonna look matte. You can use it over something more glowy, the glow is gonna come through. So that's what I really like about it. Do my chin as well. And then the under eye. So I just do some on the outside and then like on the inside, and then again just blending with my same Peaches and Cream brush. And I also bring it up and around the eyeshadow, make sure we don't have a gap. I don't actually apply the concealer directly to the under eye. I go in on the sides and bring it in. And this is probably the best concealer I've found for me so far in terms of creasing, because all the other thicker ones that I've tried just crease on me. And then what I like to do is go in with a Morphe M330. You guys have heard me mention this brush before. It just helps blend the eyeshadow into the concealer so that there's not like the concealer covering the edge of the makeup. There is a bit of glow coming through. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah. Well, maybe that primer does work quite nicely with this foundation. I just really haven't played with it since my glass skin review at all because I don't know. I just haven't reached for it. But despite the amount of coverage this foundation has, I can see the glow coming through. Then for powder, I'm going to go in with my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in Light. I haven't really used anything else, just this over the past good few months at this point, since last year I would say. I'm just using a PC04 to pop that on. Even though I have oily skin, I just don't like looking too powdery. This isn't heavy and it's also not too mattifying. That's why I like it. And I've got a new one on the way because as you can see I have seriously hit pan in this one. And then for my contour slash bronzer, I'm going to go into the Revolution and Patricia Bright face palette. This is in Moonlight Glow. I just forget that I have this a lot of the time, so why not? The brush I'm using is from the Iconic London Ultimate Brush Set, and that is linked down below. This one is more of a contour, so I think I will add a bronzer as well. I'm not gonna go too crazy with this one. I know that was really attractive, sorry guys. But there is a double chin to cover up these days. I should have worked with a smaller brush really with this one. I'm gonna go into my Holiday Romance bronzer from Revolution. I really like this one. So we're just gonna make everything warmer, I guess. And I believe this bronzer is either £3 or £4, so you really can't go wrong with this one. Just trying to take it into my hairline as well, so I don't have like a line. And I'm just blending it out. There we go, that's warmed me up a bit. And then actually what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take a different brush. This is a PC15. I'm gonna go back into the little face palette and just deepen it up right in the hollows of my cheeks. And then I'm going to take this brush from my Iconic London set. This is just a tapered blending brush, but I think it works really well for more contouring. I'm going to go back into the Patricia Bright palette. I like to go below my bottom lip. It just creates a bit of shadow, helps it look a little bit plumper. I'm really not too precise with nose contour, but I just like to do the tip first. So it just kind of redefines it. And then down the bridge, down the sides, and it just instantly gives it that shape back. Especially when you're wearing a full coverage foundation, you really can literally just make everything look a bit flat. So even if you don't want to create that really snatched nose, that really heavy contour, I just like to do a bit because, I don't know, things just look a bit shapeless otherwise, in my opinion. I'm just bringing it almost into the front of that eyeshadow. Just gives everything a bit more depth. I'm just gonna go and do my eyebrows off camera, and then I'll come back to finish off the rest of the face. Alright, so I went for a pomade brow today because I just always love the way that it looks right after I have waxed my eyebrows because they're just so neat and so sharp. So I am gonna do my highlighter next. I am going to take my PC17 highlighter brush into the highlighter from the Patricia Bright palette. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. It might actually be my perfect shade. It's not too light, doesn't leave a cast. Can we get this as a single, please? And I just like to do right at the front as well. I don't normally do this like every day in real life. I just want my highlighter to be visible in photos when I'm looking straight ahead. So I do like to add a little bit. Let's add some blush. This is another brush from the iconic London set. I'm just gonna go into the blush from the palette. I didn't want to go pink because I kind of wanted it to complement the look. So I think a more peachy one should work. I just kind of like to bring my blush all around the face. I don't go any lower, but I do bring it around the sides, around the temples, into the forehead, just because I feel like it adds a nice amount of colour. Just go lightly over the nose, just because it helps blend in that highlighter a little bit, soften it up. Thinking more of a browny nude for lips, so I'm going to use my Barry M lip kit in Go-To. So I'm going to start off with the lip liner. And then I'm just going to fill everything in with the liquid lipstick. I'm just gonna let that dry down for a second because I want to go over the center with a lighter color. In the center, I'm just gonna add some of this lipstick. This is the MUA matte lipstick in Bonafide. I'm just gonna pat out the edges with my finger. I think this is a little bit too matte though. I'm just preferring glosses at the moment. So over the top, I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy. I'm just going to add that where I added the lipstick actually. Yeah, I think that works. Makes my lips look really juicy. And then I'm just going to finish everything off with some setting spray. I'm going to use the Collection Primed and Ready Matte Makeup Fixing Spray. Alright guys, that was it for today's video. I hope as always that you liked it. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a pop of neon in summer. Is it summer? Not summer yet, it's summer in a week, but the weather's really, really nice at the moment. I am gonna leave you guys here. I do really, really hope that you liked this video. I will try to go back to doing some reviews as well. I do have one lined up. I'm currently resisting the urge to buy so many things. There's so many things on my wish list. That Beauty Bay pastel palette looks amazing. The whole of that new Revolution neon line. I feel like makeup brands are now back and they want our money again, and I need to not spend it all. I need to resist. If you enjoyed this video, then do as always, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought about it. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my next video. And I will be seeing you all on the next one. Bye guys.